Hey guys, welcome to the first update for the Halloween music challenge project thing that I announced last week. Yeah, just giving an update as I said I would for how things have been going. It's been really interesting, basically hitting all the kind of, not roadblocks, but all the things that I knew were going to be something of an issue. Say issue. Issue makes it sound like it's been like super hard and I really can't get past this thing. But a challenge, which is redundant because the idea is that this is a challenge. But I think I said this in the previous video that I'd never challenged myself to do something under a time constraint or to a specific style other than going, I'm going to write a rock track today. So sitting down and going, right, I'm going to make a spooky sounding track. It has been really interesting because I don't think I've ever done something that I could say specifically sounds spooky or Halloweeny. I might have. If I have, it's probably been lost in the ether of all the God knows how many dozens of ideas I've come up with over the years that never actually got anywhere. But anyway, so to start things off for the first track, obviously you'll be seeing I'm intersplicing this with clips of me doing things. So as an idea for the first track for this project, I thought what better place to start from to make something sound evil or Halloweeny, as I keep saying, than using the Devil's Interval, a tritone. And I know it's been done before. One that popped straight into my mind as soon as I had this thought was Rob Scallon making a whole song out of tritones. That was kind of going to be my plan, was to do it right, make it sound evil, song all just tritones, and that's going to be it. But I found as I developed through the track that there were parts that I felt suited better not using tritones. So it's pretty much all tritones apart from the odd chord here and there. But I like it. It's got a nice kind of bounce to it. You can easily tell that I'm a fan of the likes of Nightmare Before Christmas and Danny Elfman from this track in particular. But it was a lot of fun to develop, and it was also kind of tricky to do because, as you'll see from the clips, I decided to write the track so it goes from down there, jumps up to here, and does all this going up and down. So at first it was a bit tricky to actually play my idea, but I'm really liking how it's sounding at the moment. It's not finished at the time of recording this. I'm currently in the phase of writing lyrics, which I have my book of lyrics here, so you can see there's a little bit there. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this, as I'm kind of documenting what I'm doing as I go along, so every time I go to record, I make sure I've got my camera going and then I start doing it. I also try to do it for as I'm coming up with ideas. The problem is there'll be times when I'm sat here with my guitar, like practicing some kind of exercise or just having a little doodle, and then I'll come up with something, well, that sounds good, and work through it, and then I'll sit there and go, I've got an idea. Damn, I need to record it now. Luckily that's not happened too many times, but it has been something in the past as well that anyway, but yeah, I'm probably about a third to a half of the way through the lyrics for this first track. Hopefully by the time this video goes out I'll have finished the lyrics. I may even have recorded some takes for the vocals as well, fingers crossed. The hope is by the time this video comes out, actually thinking about it, that song should be done, would be the ideal, because then I can move on to the next one and keep on track for at least 4 tracks ready for release time. But we shall see. One of the great things that I'm using this challenge as an opportunity for is to finally pull out my MIDI interface again. So I've had this for over a year now. It's the M Audio Code 25, and as soon as I got it, I plugged it in, and I found I had some latency issues. But at the time of doing it, it was like, I'm gonna check it out before I go to work or something, I can't remember what. So I plugged it in and I discovered latency issues, so I was like, oh, I'll sort that out when I get back. And then it sat behind my guitars for over a year, I think it's been now. So yeah, I've got this set up now and I've been using this, and it's really cool. I actually really enjoy this. I have not used it to its full potential. I am mainly just using the keys at the moment. I would like to actually get into like using these to tweak parameters of like synths and things like that, but at the moment I've not needed to, and it's whether I'll have the time during this project to actually explore that, but we shall see. So there's a bit of that used for this first track. I've also used it to develop an idea that I got for the next track. I've already got things in mind for a starting point for the next track as well. We'll see how that goes, because obviously I've still got to finish off the first one, further develop the second one. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, because I could end up falling into the hole that I have done before of going, right, here's one idea, that's going to be great, I'll work on that in a minute. Oh, wait a minute, I've just got this idea. I'm just going to see what I can do with it. Oh, wait a minute, I've just come up with this other idea. And then I just end up with a load of starting points that don't go anywhere. Don't want to fall into that. At least at the moment, I'm on track for having one song finished for the month. But, as I say, hopefully we'll be getting 4, maybe 5 if I can work quick on some of them. So, as a side thing, I'll apologise for how this video may look. Looking at my kind of preview of it as I'm recording, I look quite washed out. And I apologise if I'm not looking at the camera too much. Usually when I'm recording at this time of day, I've got a different light that I have next to my phone as I'm recording, but that has broken, so I'm now actually using the flash for my video, the always on flash, which is right next to the lens, so staring at that is actually really hurting my eyes. But it also seems to be making things look a bit washed out, so hopefully I can correct that in post. We shall see. Trying to think what else I can say about what I've done for the progress of this one. Oh, lyrics. Another thing about the lyrics that I wanted to mention is inspiration for the subject matter. Again, it's something that I haven't really done that much. I've done it of saying I'm going to write about this particular subject, but it's usually something to do with my life. So this is probably the first, or one of the few times where it's actually doing something that isn't about me or an experience I've personally gone through. So it's a bit different. And so thinking about bases of inspiration for this, the first place I went to was Edgar Allan Poe. I haven't delved into all of his stories and poems, but all the ones that I've read, I love the kind of atmosphere he manages to build, and seems to be able to put you into the story or into a character. So I wanted to use that as inspiration, and it's actually turned out that I've taken one of his stories for this, and it is the story behind the song is directly based on one of his stories. But right, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I did really want to do this like during the day, so I didn't have to have this light in my face, and things could have looked a bit better. I hope it's of some kind of interest. It shows a little insight into what I've been doing. If there's anything that I've not touched on that you would like me to for the following ones, then do let me know. If there's anything I missed, I don't mind coming back and revisiting this to further explain something I've done for this, or if there's just an area that I could then delve more into for the next one. So, but I think I've touched on the main things. I think But we shall see. We'll see how this experiment continues. I'm feeling good about it at the moment. I was really expecting to just straight away go, right, hitting a roadblock, and I'm so inexperienced with this kind of situation that I don't get to go anywhere with it. But that doesn't seem to be the case, so fingers crossed, things are going to carry on going well. But yeah, I do think that about covers it. Again, do let me know if there is anything you'd like me to go over for the future videos. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.